What does it take to win the Super Bowl? I've been examining past Super Bowl results with an emphasis on the last 10 years, trying to find the answer to that question. So far, I've noticed a couple of key factors. The first one is an obvious one: get a high seed. Over the last 30 years, number 1 seeds have made it to the Super Bowl over 50% of the time and have won 14 of the last 30 Super Bowls. 2 seeds have made the Super Bowl almost 28% of the time and have won 9 of the last 30 Super Bowls. In that 30-year span, all of the other seeds put together have made the Super Bowl just 20% of the time, winning just over 23% of the time. For the last 7 consecutive seasons, both the teams in the Super Bowl were the 1 or the 2 seeds out of their conference. It's going to be really interesting to see how adding a 7th seed to each side of the playoff bracket affects the 2 seeds' ability to win the Super Bowl. So besides the obvious having a high seed, another factor that I've noticed is that teams that pay their quarterbacks top tier money don't win the Super Bowl very often. This season, the top 10 quarterback cap hits, 8 of those quarterbacks made the playoffs. But looking back on how high paid quarterbacks have done in the Super Bowl over the last 10 years isn't very favorable. In the past 10 years, there has been 1 Super Bowl played where both teams had quarterbacks in the top 10 in quarterback salary cap hits. Aside from that one instance, of the other 18 quarterbacks to play in the Super Bowl over the last 10 years, only 3 of them have been in the top 10 quarterback salary cap hits for their team in that season. And of those 3 quarterbacks, only 1 of them actually won the Super Bowl for his team, and that was Peyton Manning. And that Super Bowl win had nothing to do with Peyton Manning being the 6th highest paid quarterback in the NFL that season. That win had to do with the Broncos defense shutting down the NFL MVP Cam Newton, along with the Panthers' number 1 scoring offense in the NFL that were averaging 31.25 points per game. Yet, the Broncos defense only gave up 10 points in that game, getting a safety, 6 sacks, and an interception. So if you're gonna wanna win the Super Bowl with an expensive quarterback, you're probably gonna need some serious complementary pieces. So 2 of the keys to winning a Super Bowl are 1, having players getting underpaid but outproducing their contracts, specifically if you can have a quarterback do that, and obviously being one of the top 2 seeds seems to significantly increase your chances of making and winning the Super Bowl. So since we're talking about seeding and quarterbacks so much, let's look at the 4 quarterbacks from the top 2 seeds of the NFC and AFC. Aaron Rodgers is the 10th highest cap hit amongst quarterbacks in 2020, but Aaron Rodgers is also going to be the NFL MVP in 2020, so it's safe to say that he's significantly outproducing the quarterbacks that are ahead of him. Drew Brees is 8th highest against the cap amongst quarterbacks in 2020, but unlike Aaron, Drew Brees isn't playing up to his contract. If the Saints want to win it all, their defense is going to have to perform lights out like the Giants did for Eli and the Broncos did for Peyton. Josh Allen is all the way down at 30th in quarterback salary cap hits this season. Josh Allen also played like a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the NFL this season. Low salary cap hit, high playoff seed for Josh Allen and the Bills. Now, Patrick Mahomes signed a mega deal in the offseason, but his deal is structured in a way so that his salary cap hit this season is very low. The Chiefs structured Mahomes' deal like this on purpose so that way they could have a dynasty right now. So, who is going to win the Super Bowl? I'm not going to go out on a crazy limb or anything. Common sense and my research both tell me that the Super Bowl is likely to be played between 2 teams that are both the top 2 seeds from their conference. In the NFC, I favor the Packers over the Saints by a long shot. Aaron Rodgers has been virtually unstoppable this season. Getting to play at home in the cold is a tremendous advantage for Aaron and Green Bay. But everyone knows Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP this season. And if you're skeptical of that fact, just look at the Vegas odds. Rodgers is a minus 350 favorite, then Mahomes is second at plus 300, then Josh Allen is third at plus 1200. Now, why am I mentioning all this MVP talk? Did you know that the NFL MVP hasn't won the Super Bowl since Kurt Warner did it all the way back in 1999? So while I favor the Packers to win the NFC, based off of recent history, I can't favor the Packers to win the Super Bowl. So, out of the AFC, who's better between the Bills and the Chiefs. Since losing to the Chiefs on October 19th, the Bills have gone 9-1, with their only loss coming on a 1 in a million Hail Mary play against the Cardinals. Since then, the Bills have gone 6-0, outscoring their opponents 229-110, or 38-18 approximately on average. Outscoring your opponents by an average of 20 points over a 6-game sample size is outrageous. And before you question whether or not they played bad defenses over those 6 games, in those 6 games they did have to play the Dolphins, the Steelers, and the Patriots, and all 3 of those defenses finished in the top 7 in NFL scoring defense in 2020. Since we just looked at Buffalo's last 6 games, let's have a little look at the Chiefs' last 6 games. I'm going to exclude week 17 here since the Chiefs really didn't play to win in week 17, so we're just going to look at the 6 games excluding week 17. In that span, the Chiefs also went 6-0, but they only outscored their opponents 166-141, or approximately 27.5 to 23.5 points per game on average. Now in that span, the Chiefs did play the Dolphins and the Saints, who both finished top 7 in scoring defense, but they also played the Broncos and the Raiders, who both finished bottom 8 in scoring defense. The Chiefs certainly didn't lose much this season, but winning their games by an average of 4 points compared to the Bills' average of 20 points over a 6-game sample size to end the season is a pretty stark differential. So my top Super Bowl pick this season is the Bills to beat the Packers. Of course, the Bills could literally lose this weekend to the Colts, and I could look like a complete and total idiot, but hey, that's gambling, baby. So to give you a total power ranking of who I think has the best chance to win the Super Bowl to who I think has the worst chance to win the Super Bowl, after the Bills, the next likeliest, in my opinion, is the Chiefs, then the Packers, breaking the 21-year-old MVP curse, then the Saints. Then to fill it out, after that, just to name a couple of teams in case this is one of the rare seasons where one of the top 2 seeds doesn't win the Super Bowl, I think out of the AFC, the Ravens are a team that's built to win on the road, built to win in bad weather and in any situation. In NFL history, only 10 wildcard teams have ever made the Super Bowl. Of those 10 wildcard teams to ever make the Super Bowl, only 6 of those wildcard teams ever won the Super Bowl. If any wildcard team could add to those numbers this season, it's the Baltimore Ravens. And out of the NFC, I think Seattle is the underrated team that's just getting no respect in the Super Bowl conversation. The Seahawks defense got torched over the first half of the season, but over the second half of the season, their defense has been dominant. If their defense can keep it up and their offense can get Russ back in the kitchen, the Seahawks could cook up a Super Bowl victory. Who do you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? Let me know in the comments below. Also, follow me on Twitter at Empey Talks to keep up with me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when my next video comes out. Until next week, enjoy your football this weekend, everybody.